doing it.
Let's do it.
I'm ready.
All right. We are live here on YouTube. It's Halloween. Even though it's not Halloween, but it is Halloween.
Don't break the fourth wall. It is Halloween, regardless. Just remember, it's an audio medium first and foremost, James.
Yes, exactly. When you're listening to this on this Saturday after Halloween. Oh, I hear some more puppies going crazy.
Aww.
See that they're Halloween spirit.
Yes,
it's very spooky. They're ghost puppies this evening.
They're looking at you. They're looking at you all dressed up in your skunk ape costume.
Oh yeah, they're like, what is that?
I could tell you guys stories already. So I brought it home from the laundry tub today, and and I did what you're supposed to do when you initially bring an outfit home. Is I dressed up for the dogs, and they were outside, so I dressed up and then went to bring them back inside. That was my trick. The treat that I was greeted with, though, was they thought I was like a giant chew toy. And the next thing I know, I'm batting the dogs around, and it's just me and them. It's like I felt like one of them at that point in time. Yeah.
One of them.
It was very good. It was very, very good.
Well,
it's like immersive theater for you, really.
Immersive theater.
Being one with the animals.
Something along those lines, yeah.
Well, this is a Halloween episode. We're joined here again. Also, we got Liz.
Hey.
Machine hanging out with us.
Yay!
Thank you for having me.
Yes, it's your awesome leather face mask you got on.
Thank you. This is older than dirt. I made this when I was 16.
Oh, you made it? Out of what?
Oh, yeah. I used to make mask latex.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I guess I assume it's latex.
That
makes sense.
I also made this entire ape suit. I didn't. That's a lie.
You made this?
I was like, did you?
No. Actually,
fun fact indeed.
In our department.
Yeah, it made a story about the skunk ape, right? Don't you got like a story of how the skunk costume came to be?
We needed a skunk ape, and we could only find an ape suit. And we went out to shoot, and we left, Renee, Jen, and a couple other folks to like paint a skunk ape suit, and they did a beautiful job. I mean, look at this mask, and then the back.
Yeah,
the whole back of it.
Yeah, I would describe the costume for audio medium, but if you want to see this costume, just go give Ben money to watch Curse of the Weird.
give me $10 and I'll send you a link.
Yeah.
That portion of the Indiegogo still stands. You give me $10, I'll give you a link all day. Don't tell nobody though.
And yeah, we're joined here by Nicole's on the couch today.
Hi.
Coming back for a Halloween episode.
Yes.
You're also in costume. What's your costume?
Yes. I'm just wearing camouflage. I am a Curse of the Were-Deer hunter tonight. I figured a little promo there. Yes, snaps. I was shopping yesterday, and James was like, "Don't forget to wear a costume," and I was like, "I would have if you didn't say that." So I bought a bunch of camouflage. So yeah, did not miss the boat on that one, thankfully. So yeah.
Yeah, and I'm here thanks to John Bergio, who lent me his Flash costume that I'm currently rocking here at the moment. But don't worry, I'm the fun kind of Flash, not the
not
beady kind.
Not the Ezra Miller, not the one breaking into people's houses, abducting children kind of Flash.
Yeah, exactly. Signing people.
Right.
I should not laugh, but I am.
Everybody likes and doesn't fight people in Hawaii.
Nice.
Doesn't steal bottles of booze in Vermont and
and we got Dwayne Steeler in the chat. He says hi, Nicole.
Hey, Dwayne, how's it going? Hey, Dwayne. Welcome back. Thank you very much. Oh my gosh, good to be back. Good to see you. And that's Ben as Weird Skunk. Skunk Ape, but yes. Very yes.
The
very,
were-skunk,
The
that's the
were-skunk is the cousin of the skunk ape. Indeed.
No, it's strictly skunk ape. Strictly skunk ape. We have to be very, very
Wait, Miss-
accurate.
Is there plans for the Skunk Ape spinoff?
Low key there is. Low key there is. It's gonna be me and homemade Leatherface. We're gonna take over the indie horror scene. I'm just saying.
Is it going to be the limited series, only on Troma Now?
The Troma Now Skunk Ape series. I mean, listen, if they have $5 of dollars, we'll do it.
$5.
So yeah, guys, how's so I guess it's kind of a weird intro. Normally I kind of go around, but I've just been jumping back and forth. Got too distracted by the Skunk Ape. But yeah, but it's Halloween. Liz, you got any Halloween plans? Doing anything fun?
The Saturday before, I will be emceeing here at the Belcourt for the Rocky Horror Picture
Oh,
Show.
nice.
Nice.
I've never been to a
So come out if anyone that's
Yeah.
listening.
Last
Come
year's
on out.
Halloween, and we also went to go see Rocky Horror Picture Show. And the funny story about that is that our good old pal John Bergio, roommate Bergio, hits me and Reeves up, and he's like, "Yo, they're doing Rocky Horror Picture. You got to go. Come with me." He kept like begging us, hitting us up all day to do it. Like, all right, we'll do it. And not that I'm not against it. It was just like he just very much wanted to go. So we're like, me and Reeves buy our tickets. We go. Me and Reeves meet up, and we're like, "Oh, John's still not here yet. That's weird." All right, we'll go inside. He'll pop in eventually. As me and Reeves are sitting down, we sit together. We notice that everybody else that exists in this theater is a couple. Like nobody has like friends. And suddenly it's been like 30 minutes into the movie, and we're like, I don't think John Bergio's coming. And it was like, did he just set us up on a date and just leave us to watch one of the more sexually charged movies,
of a generation, bro.
Yeah.
Of many generations at
Yeah.
this point. This is yes. And
Yeah,
the
so it's
answer was he did, right?
He did. He never showed up, and it was a room full of horny couples, and then me and Reeves.
So just a room full of horny couples.
Yeah, that's when me and Reeves finally pledged our love for each other. But yeah, Rocky Horror Picture Show, Liz. That sounds like fun. Hopefully, your friends don't bail on you.
Let's hope not.
All right, Ben Johnson, how's your Halloween? What are you doing this year?
Pretty much, I have a very amazing sort of thing going on. I'll be working at Nashville Nightmare on Halloween.
Oh man, that's probably gonna be wild. A lot of people.
What's that?
If Friday
Nashville
the
Nightmare.
13th was any indication of what Halloween is going to be at the Haunt, like it's going to be bananas. It's going to be bananas. Get it? Bananas.
Coming from the skunk.
All right.
Oh my god! Oh wait, but he's not actually. Oh no, wait,
Come
an
on.
ape. Okay, fine. Ignore me. Okay. Nice. No, forget I said anything. Nice. So fun.
So I'm going to be working the Haunt, and I'll be there in full skunk ape getup throughout.
Oh really?
So they give us I do event staff. So largely that night, it's a Tuesday night? Yeah.
Yeah, Tuesday this year.
It'll be during the week, so the secret bars will be closed. So I won't be doing bar door. I'll be doing the escape rooms as a skunk ape.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It's gonna be a good time. And then other than that, it's just basically the same. But to piggyback off of what Liz said about Rocky Horror, last year we also went to Rocky Horror around Halloween. So
Nice.
Did you also go to Dave Reeves?
no, but me and Jen did a double date with Derek and Duff. Derek and Duff were here because it was like we had just finished up Clone Cops, and Duff had come down, and we all went out. We go to Rocky Horror, awesome time, great time. Everybody got very, very loose. There may have been a couple of moments that some of us will go unnamed, but let's just say there may have been a little bit of puke, and there may have been a whole lot of Rocky Horror. So let's just put it that way.
Were you at Belcourt last year?
We went
for Rocky?
to the Palace in Gallatin.
Oh yeah. They do have. They're doing that again this year. They have another shadow cast that's
Doing
the
it there.
palace.
Yeah, this year it depends. I mean, in all honesty, like I might just hit you up because I love a good Rocky Horror, and I haven't been to see it at the Belcourt.
Yeah, that was my first time too seeing it live. I never totally I've seen Rocky Horror a bunch of times. I'd never seen it in the theater experience that it was.
Yeah, I want to do that. That seems really fun.
It's a lot of fun.
It's gotta be added to my bucket list for sure.
And New York is sort of like the birthplace. There's a great record. I used to have it was a double disc CD that the official fan club put out, and this was for the 25th anniversary. And it's got all, it was an audience recording. So you've got the soundboard of the film, and then you've got mics throughout the theater, and it's got all the standard lines, and then it's got all of sort of the theater specific lines that people sort of build up across and over time, right? Unreal listening experience.
Yeah, I wish there were more movies that shit like that.
I feel like we should have a spin-off podcast of just Skunk Ape telling us about modern cinema. Because for whatever reason, just Ocean 2 was
I'm especially Amazon's here. The dogs are going nuts. Hang on. Gotta
go get Amazon.
I love
in that cost.
I'll be right back, y'all. I'm just gonna mute up right quick because the dogs are going nutty and Amazon. I'll be right back.
Well, I hope you signed the package, Skunk Ape.
That's what I'm gonna do. Is it them, Jen? Okay, never mind. I'm gonna hang out here. They're barking at the dog, or they're barking at Jen. That was sorry.
All right. Well, Nicole, how's your Halloween? What do you got? Any plans?
Yeah, my Halloween's fun. Yes, I am currently in Salem, Massachusetts. Actually,
oh, that sounds awesome.
Yes,
I just went for the first time this year too. It's a cool place.
Oh shit! When did you go?
I don't know. Whenever I filmed in Rhode Island, fucking
that's
June,
right.
I think it was
right.
July.
Yeah. I do remember going now. You say that.
It was great. Honestly, I didn't know what to expect. I thought it'd be a little overrated, but honestly, it was a blast. And that was for the fucking hour I walked around. I was like, dude, I could spend all day here.
That's basically. I'm just gonna basic bitch the shit out of it and do all the pumpkin spice. And I'm gonna go.
A lot of goth ladies.
That's hot. I'm into that too.
A lot of goth ladies and witches.
Nice. Yeah, just going for the weekend. I purposely chose Halloween to go that weekend because I was I want to just the chaotic energy of it all. I heard it's Connor McCarthy said it's ground zero there that weekend. That's exactly.
Oh yeah, that's their calling.
yeah. It's just the best time to be, immersed in that environment. Yeah. So going on a witch trial tour.
A witch trial tour. Ooh.
Yes. Gonna just do as much.
What does that entail?
So I'm not entirely sure, but I assume they'll just be hey, this is where a witch trial took place. This is where a witch trial took place, just throughout the city. But I'm not entirely sure what to expect. But I'll let you guys know when I get back.
Yeah, I want to know more about that. That sounds really interesting and scary.
Yeah. I'm ready to be spooked a little bit. So yeah, that's my Halloween for y'all.
Sounds fun. I don't even know what the fuck I'm doing on Halloween. As we speak, right now, I have no idea what my plans are or what I'm doing. But hey, you know what? This is my Halloween. I'm hanging out with you guys. That's what's going on.
Oh my god.
Reeves just sent me a note and said that you guys have another date planned.
Oh, he didn't tell me, so
I don't want to let the cat out of the bag.
Now there's problems.
Oh, it's secretive. It's romantic. Go Reeves.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a secret, Ben. You're just airing out my laundry.
Joey K is in the chat and says, Ben, better wear the ape suit every show. I'm going to stop listening.
People should donate. You know, if they send you money, we'll keep the ape costume going.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Send in money for
Just
Ben
give-
to wear the costume.
Yeah, Ben,
Just
what's your
give me
Venmo?
money. It's it's the same as everything else. It's yarn_Yeti. Just send me money.
Yeah.
I'll take money.
So yeah, if you send any money to Ben Johnson, we'll keep
we're
rocking the ape
we're
costume.
calling it we're calling it
Yes.
fundraising for the next feature. I've already spent the nut I'm gonna spend on Weredeer, and we've got another feature planned. So I'm gonna start building up a nut for that.
Yeah, and it starts with the ape costume.
Everything starts with Skunk Ape. Everything begins and ends with Skunk Ape. It'll actually, weirdly, I do think there are going to be some carryovers from Weredeer into the next feature. So I don't want to give too many things away, but
Yeah, because why buy new props when we already have a
when you already
laundromat
have a
full of them?
laundromat full of Skunk Ape outfits,
Yeah.
There's more than one?
no.
Is there?
It's a joke.
Oh,
It's a
okay,
joke.
okay. Sorry. Got a little excited there. All right, my bad. Okay, sorry. I forgot.
There's a whole family that we don't even know about.
I was like, oh, do tell me more.
Yeah, how does that costume feel? Is it sweaty?
The rest of the outfit, not so much. The mask itself is likely coming off very, very quickly.
Yeah, Liz, how's your mask holding up? I mean, I'm sure it's gonna get a little
It's
sweaty
just
too.
here. It's kind of. you like I'm sitting here whenever I wear it. Even I used to play Leatherface in a haunt here, the haunted prison, and when I was a kid, when I was a
nice.
teenager, and I just can't
Awesome.
do masks well, and it makes me wonder. Like I think of like Ed Gein and people like that wore faces, like wore human skin. Like it's just the most uncomfortable thing in the world. I don't care what kind of fetish you
Yeah.
have. Like it is uncomfortable.
Now that I think about
that-
all the like crimes and like atrocious things to do, why that? Yeah, because that just sounds
Right.
especially uncomfortable.
It's just awful.
I would actually challenge. I do think it's arguably significantly more comfortable if it is a skinned face, because at that point in time, it's cooled off a little bit if you put it on fresh, right? Like you cut it off fresh.
Put it on
It's-
ice and then
It's nice and moist on the inside, and it's that cool blood on the thing. It'll kind of dry too a little bit. It's the latex and the rubber and the plastic, I think, that is more the challenge.
No,
So that's
Well,
just
I'm
me
missing out
personally.
in
that way.
my skills as a
That's just
mask
Very
maker. I should
great.
have gone the Ed Gein route.
that's just me personally, though.
I want Skunk Ape to explain everything to me for now on. Just like if Skunk Ape was like a teacher of mine in high school, I would have actually fucking paid attention. So like everything he says, I'm just like, oh yeah, sounds about right.
Yeah, no, it's true though. I mean, think about it. There's blood on the. Yeah, no, it only makes sense. And then
It makes sense to me.
Yeah, by the time it dries out, you're ready to get another one, and then you can cool back off.
You just gotta toss it. All right, this one's a little worn out. I gotta get a new one.
Wait, so Liz, haunted prison. What's that all about?
So it's actually very close to, or was very close to, where we filmed Clone Cars.
Yeah.
Do you remember down off Stewart's Ferry? So that was one of the haunts here in Nashville. We're very limited to Nashville haunted houses now, except for we've got Nashville Nightmare where Ben's at, and then we've got Full Moon
Yep.
over there with the other Ben Dixon. What is that? Is that it?
Well, what was
We've got that place on
There-
Dickerson Road.
Well, Ben, what one we went to? I don't remember the name of that one.
Oh, yeah. So we did like an outdoor haunt, and I want to say it was some kind of haunted woods. Back when we did the original Weredeer trailer, it was around Halloween time. Honest to God, James, that was out in the middle of nowhere, and it was probably literally just somebody's house who was like, "Oh, we killed a bunch of these things, and now we're gonna scare people."
They had some good. They had like the
That's
Leatherface. I remember they think there's might have been even an Evil Dead thing.
Yup. But there actually, Liz, there's a couple of more that are like very, very low key. There are a few like haunted woods and stuff in the area that have sort of popped up, at least up in and around like up where I stay, around the Gallatin sort of spots.
Okay. they're starting to spring up in East Tennessee. Brandon saw last weekend, and I guess it's just like where people have nothing up, on in that side of the state. They have nothing else to do, so they already own the land. Why not just scare the shit out of
And
people
then
from
we're
there?
ignoring arguably the most famous haunt in Tennessee, which is McCamey Manor.
Don't even get me started on
Ooh,
McCamey
what's
Manor.
that? Now I kind of
So,
get you started on what is that?
McCamey Manor is Russ McCamey, and he's this dude that really gets his jollies from torturing folks.
Oh, it's one of the
So
extreme
it's
kind of.
you have to pay to go. You have to sign a waiver, sign your life away,
Oh wow.
and then you pay to go. And the shtick of it all is that there's actually no haunt. He's got these people blindfolded and shit out in his backyard waterboarding them
Yeah,
and
shit. Yeah,
burying them alive and putting spiders on their faces, and they don't realize. And the thing is, if they make it to the end, they win a cash prize. Nobody's ever made it to the end because the fucking house doesn't
Right.
exist.
Ooh, what
So,
damn.
so
And I've stuff like this. I mean, I've heard of like these kind of haunted houses before.
He's a complete
Yes.
bastard.
And there's I just saw it on Hulu. There's a new documentary
Mhm.
about it. And then there was like an extreme haunt stock that came out maybe 5 years ago.
Yeah, that's the one that I
Yeah,
saw.
where it was heavily featured. But then there's a brand new doc
That's
on
the
it.
one you're talking about. That's the same one from
Yeah.
that
Oh yeah,
documentary.
yeah.
Because he films them too, right? When he films all these people, like
Yeah,
Yep.
them.
and puts all of that up. Like he's got some secret Facebook group, which makes him even funnier because who the fuck uses Facebook? But he's got a secret Facebook group that he puts all of these videos on, and like nobody
Very uncool.
nobody zucks him. Like he still keeps his Facebook. I don't understand that at all because this stuff is pretty outrageous.
It's wild
Yeah, what the
they can
fuck?
get away with.
Yeah.
It's legit wild what this guy gets away with. It's bananas.
I'm gonna do it. Oh, nice! Oh my god, I'm gonna do a sharp left here. Isn't it funny? We're both in New York and they're both in Nashville.
Yeah, both of us see out there. Yeah,
Like we're both in New
you were
York.
telling me we've split the podcast now even ways.
Yeah, just 2 locations. That's it. Totally Toonular. From New York to Nashville.
So, Ben, would you like? How are you at haunted houses? Would you say that you're the weenie or not?
I wouldn't say that I'm a weenie at all. What I would say is that I go into it knowing that the scare is the purpose. So like I sort of put myself in a spot where like I get jumpy. I'm jumpy in general. Like anybody who's hung out with me for like any length of time knows that all you have to do is walk up behind me quietly and say hello and you'll get a jolt. So I'm jumpy. But in the haunt environment, like the idea is again like watching a film, like doing anything to suspend disbelief. So the idea should be to get ready for a scare, to be like, ooh, we're here now. There's gonna be things out there. And like I buy into the fun. You know what I mean? I buy into the fun. Am I actually terrified that these people are gonna hit me with chainsaws? Am I worried about getting touched? No, not at all. You know what I mean? And nor is it like a genuine fright. I don't run out scared. There was one time though, and I may have told this story here like last year. So my best friend Justin, me, him, and then like a couple of our exes, like early 20s. We go to a haunt in Hendersonville, and you go through the house, and then once you finish the house, you get outside, and you think it's over, but there's this whole like exterior portion, and what you don't see when you first pop out is there are chainsaw dudes lined up on either side of the thing, like waiting for you to come out. So you walk out and you're like, refreshing. Okay, that was crazy in there. And then all of a sudden you hear blah, 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 and then they come at you. And there's a thing, when you take the chain off the saw, they can kind of tap your leg a little bit so you feel the vibration of it. And like this guy, he got me on the back of the calf just a little with the wide part of the saw. And I swear to God, my feet, I flew. I was 20 yards away from my entire group, and I turned around and I looked, and they're all just standing there, like arms up, like what the hell? And I was like, "You would be dead. You would be dead. Real world scenario. I win. I
get away, and
you guys are dead.
Movies.
Sorry.
Yeah.
That's your fault, not mine."
So you're definitely not a weenie.
I'm not a weenie, but I'm a jumper. I'm a jumper. You know what I mean? The idea is well, I guess
So a little bit like a Franken kind of weenie.
You're trying. You're trying.
Oh.
You're getting so close. You're getting so close. It would be cobbled together bits and pieces of my fear. So it depends on the house itself. Like a McCamey Manor could probably play into portions of my fear, and then it would in turn turn me into a type of Frankenweenie if they pulled my fear of heights together with like my fear of being alone, with my fear of, you know what I mean, all of those things. If they pulled that in, then
you
Frankenweenie.
That's right, you bunch of weenies, because we're talking
Can't fucking do
Frankenweenie.
this anymore. God help me with this mask on.
Yeah, I'm about to pull
Oh,
mine off
Masks
too.
are coming off. You guys made it almost about 30 minutes.
Yeah,
That's
that
pretty
was
impressive.
Really impressive.
But yeah, Frankenweenie. I don't know. But before we really get into the movie, I mean, are you guys Tim Burton fans?
Kind of. His early stuff is especially very good. Like, if we consider Nightmare Before Christmas 1, which I think everyone technically has to, right? 'Cause, like,
But he didn't direct it.
he didn't direct it. No,
I don't
but
even think he wrote it.
I don't even know what the fuck he did other than be like Tim Burton's Nightmare Before Christmas. Like, whatever. Anyway, fan of that. Fan of.
I mean, early
Beetlejuice.
Tim Burton. I mean, that's my favorite. I mean, everybody knows how much I love Batman, so I'm not even I don't even have to get to that part of Tim Burton. What about you, Ben? What's your Tim Burton-ness like? You a fan?
Very much so. Like Beetlejuice is a standout. Batman '89 is a standout. I didn't mind his Alice in Wonderlands. I thought those were great. I did.
He made more.
Yeah.
There's two.
I thoroughly enjoyed them. I never saw what do you call it? I never saw Dark Shadows, but I also wasn't like a huge fan of
See, that's when Tim Burton for me started going
Same.
downhill. It's like anything past like Dark Shadows is pretty bad. I mean, yeah, Liz, what's your Tim Burton? Are you a fan?
Oh yeah. So I was like the middle school goth kid Tim Burton fan. So that was the first filmmaker that ever, like, I knew that filmmaker's name. I knew what he did.
Yeah.
You know, I knew the style that he had.
Maybe I'm wrong in this, right? But is he like kind of like the first like mainstream kind of goth filmmaker to like be out
Well,
there?
Ooh,
There's
question.
been gothic styled films forever.
Yeah, and he's ripped it
But
off.
he's the
Like,
one that
he-
has the act like in the
Yeah.
Corman way. Like you think about Corman post-cycle films, there's a specific look to those films. And then he
Yeah.
has a specific look to his artwork and a specific look to his set design. Everything's like everything is
Yeah.
Burton-esque.
It's almost like
Everything has
stringy and
look.
also like weirdly curvy and like, you know, people used to have like funny faces, like lanky bodies.
You have to have a drawn face. You have to look like you haven't slept in about 20 years. You know,
But if you look across like his body of work, like here's the deal, right? Up until at least like 2003 to around maybe even 2007.
I remember that was like kind of like a huge flop.
Mm.
What was that?
Planet of the Apes.
So Planet of the Apes was 2001. His Charlie and the Chocolate Factory was 2005. But like, it's a list of bangers. Pee-wee's Big Adventure, Beetlejuice, Batman, Edward Scissorhands, Batman Returns. Ed Wood is
that's
unreal.
my favorite Tim Burton movie. I have the DVD. It's
a
like
great
literally my
film.
favorite because it's like all the aesthetic of Tim Burton while still being like a biopic and doesn't like, totally even do the Tim Burton kind of ness to it, if that makes sense. Like it's very much a straight biopic, which I love, but then it's still weird if his style it's kind of like put into it.
And it's enough of his style though, like with the notion of who Ed Wood was in general, that like Tim Burton made sense to make that movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Who
else could have made it, really. And putting it in black and white was also just makes it way cooler.
You have to. You have to.
Yeah, but you're like all these things you're saying. It just like sounds like Tim Burton should have made an Ed Wood movie. It just like sounds perfect. So. Yeah.
And then you've got Mars Attacks, Sleepy Hollow, Big Fish in 2003.
Big Fish is
so
good.
Big Fish is like my second favorite Tim Burton movie because that's also like it's also so different from his normal movies. Like it's a pretty like bright. What I remember most about it's a pretty like colorful, brighter movie comparable to like everything else he did like before that. Instead of these kind of black and white, kind of weird Tim Burton kind of movies. Big Fish is like it's a lot of color and there's a lot of like different things kind of going on in it.
And it doesn't have that stable of Burton actors.
Right.
It's not the same folks reused. When had he ever worked with Ewan McGregor and like Jessica Lange?
Danny DeVito, yeah. But was he another?
Yeah, he's Penguin.
He was in Batman Returns.
Yeah, he's the Penguin.
All right, so I guess him. Yeah, but you're right. Ewan McGregor, I can't imagine him being another. Yeah, Tim Burton movie.
Yeah, and Ewan McGregor is such a weird lead in a Tim Burton movie. Like that's not expect to like even be ahead of that. But I haven't seen that movie in a minute. But that's like literally my second favorite Tim Burton movie. And like I said,
could y'all imagine Johnny Depp in that lead?
Yeah,
like it wouldn't have worked.
It wouldn't have worked. Yeah, exactly.
Not in the slightest. But that's I guess that's sort of the appeal. And I mean, honest to God, I'm just sitting here looking at it. I haven't seen his Dumbo. I haven't seen Peculiar Children or Big Eyes yet.
Wednesday.
Some of it.
The Wednesday
show? Yeah, of course, yeah.
What's her name?
Yeah.
What's her name?
Jenna Ortega, I think it's how you say it. I keep trying. I shouldn't be saying names on the show. Like, I've literally spent a full month of saying people's names wrong, like Charles Mencia,
But like Jenna Ortega is Wednesday is a great show. I went into it one of those things where it was like, oh, I'm watching it because everybody is. I want to know what this fucking dance thing is. And then I thoroughly enjoyed it, man. I enjoyed it. So good.
Yeah, I like it a lot too. But Bergio pointed out once, he called it Goth Hogwarts, and I haven't been able, like, I can't look at it like this.
That's true.
That actually sold it. I remember that sold it to me. I was like, I'll watch it now that I know it's Goth Hogwarts. Yeah, and like I watched a couple episodes. It was good. I haven't finished it though, but.
Do you watch it, Liz?
Yeah, I have. Do I think it's fantastic? No. But I mean, it's very rare to find a show that's fantastic, and I'm sure I know they got renewed for a second season, so I'm sure they'll amp it up second season big time.
What's her name too? Catherine Zeta-Jones is entertaining in it. Like fun cast of characters, but yeah.
So that might be the only part of casting in this Wednesday that doesn't mesh well with me.
Oh, you weren't involved.
But
Catherine Zeta-Jones.
She actually fits what she should fit, and not my idea of what Morticia should be. Like, it's not always going to be Angelica Houston.
What about Luis Gomez?
Perfect Gomez.
I love him.
Perfect.
I love him. Yeah. He actually looks like the
because I got
comic
a lot
strip.
Of flack. I remember when the show was coming out, that got like a huge flack. But then, if you look at the comic strip, they look like the same person.
You know who is sort of a sleeper in Wednesday that is actually really exceptional is, and I love her in everything, from Garfunkel and Oates, Ricky Lindholm. Ricky Lindholm plays the psychiatrist that Wednesday and the Addams go see, and I love her. You could put Ricky Lindholm in anything, and I will watch it.
She is underrated. Blonde one, right?
Yeah.
She is really underrated. She's pretty
And
fantastic.
it's got Christina Ricci
Yep.
right in the show. That's like the original Wednesday too. And
Yeah, they brought everybody back. They brought in each one that they could. I mean, it's a love letter. It's very good.
I'm actually surprised it took Tim Burton this long to make an Addams Family movie or an Addams Family thing. Like, when I watched those, like the original movies, like I honestly always thought it was made by Tim Burton until like I realized that he literally had nothing to do with those movies in the slightest. You know, like I don't.
Wait, Tim Burton didn't have anything to do with the early Addams Family movies?
No, not Addams Family Values or nothing.
Wow, that is shocking.
But they look like they could be. I for literally my whole life. I thought
You thought that was
until.
Seems like it was a perfect match, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm surprised it took him this long to do one. But but yeah. So then we get to here Frankenweenie. Now, have you guys seen the short Frankenweenie?
Yeah.
So
Nicole just ripping open.
Yeah, I know.
Bag of popcorn.
that was on
Yes, I have seen it.
Ben, you're old like me, so
Yes.
you would have gotten that Nightmare Before Christmas VHS when
Yep.
they put it out. And so one of the special features of the VHS was that short. So that was huge. Like, it was so huge to be able to see it because everybody knew that he had gotten fired from Disney.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say I read some like thing earlier that said that like he made that short, then Disney fired him because they're like the kids cannot watch this movie.
They're like, you killed the
And then-
dog, homie. You killed the dog.
And then fast forward a couple of years, he makes Pee-wee's Playhouse, Batman, Beetlejuice, and they're like, oh, Tim Burton's now this big name. And then they make Nightmare Before Christmas and they put that out on all the fucking home video release.
Yeah, Disney's like, we fucked up.
So with Frankenweenie, it was kind of funny. When I was in college in Memphis, we actually watched that in a couple of our film classes. I remember that was the first time I saw it. As opposed to necessarily Nightmare Before Christmas, I saw it in college in one of my film classes. They made us watch it.
Yeah, I mean, I love this short. Like, I actually think
I
this is
do
also
too.
one of my top like Tim Burton movies.
Yeah.
I first got the cast right, Shelley
Yeah.
Duvall. You got the kid, Never Ending Story. The dad.
Fucking Daniel
Oh,
Stern
Yup.
Yeah.
fucking kills it. We were just talking to Nicole and I were talking about this.
Yeah. And I could not believe like that you're around the same age. Like if you would have told me that Shelley Duvall and was that same something sir was like we're around the same age, I would have not believed you. But like Frankenweenie just proves that. It's fucking wild.
It's such a perfect little short film, and it gets direct and to the point, serves its purpose, pays the homage, and you're done.
Yeah,
it's like this
perfect.
nice little Frankenstein story that feels like a good kids movie
Yeah.
and about this kid's dog and bringing it back to life. With this awesome just style, where it like it gives it this like Ed Wood-ness style to it of like, with like the paper fucking gravestone, and stuff like that, and the kid's like lab that's just like filled with shit around his house that's like glued together and whatever.
As far as
Yeah.
as art stuff goes, it is tremendous. And like and in a way, the cartoon, the animated version that they did, the feature length, really plays homage to that also very well in the opening film. This dog that she's showing, or that he's showing his family. Yeah. Hang on. Amazon did show up. I'll be right back.
Oh no.
Well, they do that too in the original short. They show his like little home movie,
Mhm.
and they're like, "Oh, we got we got our Hitchcock on our hands."
Oh yeah. Yeah. So Liz and I were talking about before, and James, you and I said a similar thing, where we all kind of seem to dig the short live action short more so than the
Yeah, I
Most
think the short
definitely.
better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It-
I don't know. Yeah, you said earlier, just kind of highlight. It's like all to the point. It just like works.
That story didn't need to be fleshed out anymore. And
Did it?
yeah.
I, as much as I appreciate what we watched, the stop motion Frankenweenie. As much as I appreciate it for when it was released and sent to the, it was IMAX, it was 3D. Like I can appreciate what was trying to form or what was happening with that.
Yeah.
But it's just not. It's not as good as that. Just short and sweet short film.
And the stop motion's cool as fuck. Like I love stop
Mhm.
motion. I love the hard work it takes to make it. But yeah, I don't know. The style just feels better for me when it's this story. The style, for instance, just feels better for me when it's live action because it almost feels like this like unreal world. Like you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like these
Mhm.
people don't seem real at all. Like this town, the way it is, it's just like I don't know. It gives it this really unique, cool style. Where I feel like the claymation. Like I don't, and maybe it's because at this point I've seen movies that look like this, but it just felt like I've seen this kind of like the style didn't stick out like 100% or like blow me away
Well,
as much.
it was
I feel
almost
like.
just like it's regurgitated Tim Burton style, and
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
too much at times. And I don't know. I hate to shit talk it because it's actually a great little film.
Yeah.
I would
Yeah.
much rather a child watch that film than watch some other ridiculous Disney bullshit.
Yeah, yeah.
Good point. Yeah.
But
Yeah, that's a good.
it doesn't need to be as long. We didn't need as many characters. We did need Mr.
Yeah.
Whiskers.
Yeah,
That
Yes,
I also
yeah.
appreciate.
The
Love
cat
that
that
fucking
can like
cat.
predict like omens is pretty awesome
With
with
her
her poop. That was, yeah.
I also feel like speaking of like all the different characters, I appreciate Martin Short tremendously
Oh,
because
yeah,
he did
yeah.
so great with
Yeah,
that. But like, tell me I'm not the only one that feels this way, but I feel like Winona Ryder was just dialed in on that neighbor part.
Yeah, I felt the same way. I was like, oh, that's just Winona Ryder.
Yeah.
Like there wasn't anything else to it,
Mm-mm.
and I don't know the fact that she was playing a kid, and I was like, she's definitely older than like literally every other voice actor that's playing a
Right.
kid right
It didn't make much sense, and it was just like it was a completely dialed in performance. So that took
Yeah.
me away from it too.
I don't think that character even did that much in the movie.
Mm-mm.
Oh yeah, she's kind of just like the mom of that other dog.
Yeah.
The neighbor dog. That's really it. You're right. Yeah. Huh. And she kind of was just like, oh, what's that fucking character in Edward Scissorhands? She was kind of just that character. Like Winona Ryder's character. She looked identical to her.
Yeah.
Kind of just like there.
And Tim Burton was like, yeah, I just want Winona Ryder in the movie.
Yeah.
I feel
we
like it
worked
was
together.
just rehash Lydia Deetz.
But
yeah.
And it
if you and I don't mean to, I know I'm coming in on the end and we're taking dumps, which is great. However, I will say this: if you can continue to work with the same people and you find people you enjoy and you caught lightning in a bottle a couple of times, the notion would be to continue to sort of push that on, right?
true.
I agree, and that's why I love Ed Wood. Relationship is always good. But yeah, I love Winona Ryder too. But like in this movie, I don't know, she was just kind of there, no real
Yeah.
reason or purpose. But I will say that one character I'm glad they kept was like, I don't know the actual lady's name in either one of the short or the movie, but it's like the bigger lady with like the big poofy hair who like yells a lot.
Yeah.
Like she's my favorite in the
It's-
short film. She's so funny.
I gotta find it. It's like Mrs. Epstein or Mrs.
Mrs. Epstein.
something great. Yeah, it is Mrs. Epstein.
I just love because in the short
So
she's like
that
screaming.
particular character, you see that, and Victor as Vincent in Vincent, his very first short
Yeah.
animated
Oh, yeah, in Vincent.
film. He has some kind of weird affinity for larger ladies and floral.
Yeah, well, that's
movies.
why like I find it like that's why I said I like the live action thing better because I look at the people in that I was like, where did you even find this lady? When you do a claymation, it's like you can make them weird and look like whatever. So it's like, oh, that's a funny looking person. But when you see the live action version of that lady, and you're like, that's a real person. And it's just so surreal, and the way she yells about her dog in it, she's like, he tried to eat my raven. And like there's like one shot in the short where it's like the neighbor is telling the dad about the dog. The dad's like, all right, I'm gonna go walk inside checking the dog. And he's trying to talk to the neighbor, and then the lady, like the bigger lady, I'd say Mrs. Epstein, was like so it's like a two shot and then she's like way in the background, like out of focus, and she's also yelling, like she's like part of the conversation but yelling across like down the street at them.
I love it.
Amazing.
And she's whatever she says at that point, or like it was 6 feet, or it was 7 feet tall, or whatever she says.
Yeah.
It's unreal.
So yeah, and that's why like they kept her in this one, but I don't know, she wasn't as funny in the claymation one.
Oh yeah,
Mm-mm.
yeah. She kind of was just like vibing.
But like I said, I do like this movie, and I remember when it came out. It was 2012. I was working at Target. I don't know, but I just remember so this is my first time actually watching this movie. I mean, this is. Have you guys seen this movie before?
Yes, long time ago though. It probably had been like from around the time it came out that I saw it in college for me.
Yeah,
2012.
I've seen it before.
But-
Yeah.
Not minute though.
And you've seen it too, Liz?
Oh yeah. I'll watch everything that Tim Burton puts out, even the bullshit. Just hoping to not see any more bullshit and it goes back to form, or goes somewhere cool.
Yeah, it's been pretty bad for a while. But yeah, I don't know. I remember maybe that's what it was too, because this is still post Dark Shadows, so it's probably also like yeah, really.
You were a little reluctant.
Yeah.
A little reluctant at that point.
2012 was a weird year in my life of like I just worked at Target and I was either getting drunk or fighting with my ex-girlfriend. So it was like, I was like 19. So
good year.
I don't know. Going to see Frankenweenie wasn't the
So good year. Yeah, I got you. I too had good years, James.
So yeah, Frankenweenie wasn't my priority at that time in my life. But I don't know. Watching it now, yeah, I mean it's still, I don't know. I dig it, but
I do dig it too.
like,
I do.
and it's short. I mean, I don't know. Just kind of like I watched it twice today, and it just kind of breezes by. But like, it's one of those movies where I feel like I look away for like a second, and I just like miss something completely.
Yeah,
And
absolutely. Yeah, that kept happening to me.
It's been a minute since I'd seen it, and I got up to start cooking dinner, like doing some prep for that while I was watching it, and then I turned around and I was like, Colossus, what's the giant turtle thing again? Like
It's like Gamera. Shelley.
I had to sit there though. I was like, the fuck, where did this come from? You know what I mean? And then I had to go back and take a look. You miss a lot in a short amount of time in this. The other thing where I literally had to go back, and this is the silliest thing in the world, but I had to go back right at the beginning because I'd looked down at my knitting, and then I looked up and I was like, oh, I missed the dog getting hit. And
Oh,
I did. I missed it entirely. I got there.
Yeah, I missed it too.
And there was Victor's face, and he's like, ah. And then I rewound because, you can't miss a dog getting hit by the car. That's like,
That's the plot.
That's the movie.
Yeah.
Right,
that's the
right.
whole thing.
so,
yeah.
you flick back, and I just thought it was really sort of masterfully done, right? Like, Sparky's running across the road, and then he gets the ball, and he's on his way back, and you just see those tires coming. The tires are coming down,
Yeah.
and then the ball roll away. Like, everything happens just out of frame, just off screen,
Yeah.
behind another car, and then there's Victor's face, and you're like, oh no, like this.
Well, that's exactly how they did it too in the short film.
Yeah.
Down to the ball.
Yeah, that's the ball.
That
yeah.
roll
Yeah.
is like, that's heavy.
It's perfect. But you can see his Hitchcock influence when he does things like that, where it's implied.
Entirely.
Mm.
That violence is implied, and it's almost creepier that way.
Yeah,
It-
you're right. Like, because then you're like, you can imagine it's like
It
oh,
tugs
fuck.
at so many heartstrings, you know what I mean? It really does. And it's, I mean, because, then again, too, it's Disney. It's not like you can show the dog getting killed.
Yeah. Yeah, it's also Disney. Yeah.
Yeah, they're not necessarily strangers to that sort of thing.
Because it's also like skip ahead a bit, like when all the creatures start going crazy. I remember because Nicole was here when I was rewatching it again, and I was like, like I don't know why everyone's so freaking out. Like they're not really doing anything. You know, like they're just going, blah, 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 you know,
Those
just like
townspeople should be fucking ashamed. What the hell? These like pets are resurrected. And everyone's like burning fucking windmills.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
like everyone's going crazy, but they're not even
Why?
like attacking people or like really doing anything. You know?
Mhm.
They're just
They
being.
had to have a way to play it out to be
Yeah,
Frankenstein.
of course, yeah.
Yeah.
So they had to have a way to do that with these freaky
Yeah.
townsfolk.
That's true.
But it still sucks. I mean,
yeah.
it still sucks.
I
But
think
if
No, my bad.
oh, go ahead.
Well, I think that's like we were kind of talking about like why we feel like the feature feels a little bit like I don't know how to put it, like a little bit weaker of a story because that whole science fair thing makes it feel a bit more saturated, right? It's like all these like characters added in there.
Yeah, because I mean, the short too is like literally just that block of people.
Yeah, like there's no
Yeah.
science fair, there's no invisible fish,
No
there's
mayor.
no mayor, there's no
No other kids.
there's a
Besides
science
one
teacher.
girl.
Yeah, right. There's a science teacher for like a scene, a single quick scene, but not for like. But that science teacher was a fucking big ass part of that feature.
Yeah, a huge part.
Martin Landau. Speaking of Edward.
Landau,
And
hell yeah.
Martin Landau looking like damn Vincent Price. You know what I'm saying?
Of course,
Yes!
like,
Yes.
So good.
of course. Of
Yes,
course, Tim Burns
Daddy.
is gonna make someone look like Vincent
But
Price.
I
Our
I
Lord of
really
Thunder.
did think though that I like the science fair notion. Sorry, I love it. I think that's a wonderful thing. And then I love the speech that he gives to him about science in general is arguably one of my favorite parts in this. And it's funny because when he's giving him that speech, I literally just watched an interview with Neil deGrasse Tyson where he said the exact same thing, almost verbatim. Scientists are the people who don't grow up. Scientists are the people who still ask questions. They have a curiosity about the world around them. He didn't mention having love in your experiment, which that's the only cheeseball part of that, I thought. But the rest of that like stands firm. And in the interview that I watched, he goes on to say, you know, you've got an egg on the counter and you've got like a kid, you know, like a 4 or 5 year old who reaches up for the egg. Your instinct is to say, no, don't touch that. You know what I mean? And all you're thinking about is the 40 cents that you spent on the egg or whatever out of the dozen. Meanwhile, let the kid touch it because what that kid's going to learn over the next few minutes is invaluable. Like something hard can be fragile when the egg breaks, right? You crack it open and on the inside of it, there's this clear, it's clear and it's yellow. You put it on heat and all of a sudden what happens when you apply heat? That clear now becomes white. There's so much science that happens if you just let the kid touch the egg, as opposed to like suppressing this quest for knowledge.
Yeah. And that's like what the parents were like, you know, basically trying to do, trying to get these kids to stop touching the eggs, right? I mean, there's like that whole like assembly scene where they're like, what is this science? The science is ruining our kids.
Exactly. And
Yeah,
and that's what they were sort of getting at, and it hit me harder because again, like it's weird how things sort of fall in line for you if you're or just how things kind of line up sort of in nature, in the universe, in the world, because I saw that maybe like 2 or 3 days ago before I watched this, and then I was like, whoa, that's the world telling me to touch things. So yeah,
don't touch everything.
Man, okay, quick real quick aside, Liz, big question for you in the haunt. You said you were a kid working there, right? Anybody ever get like touchy with you?
Coworkers, no. Visitors, patrons, yes.
Well, I mean, I
Yes.
see that people got to be careful with that shit, but not like just like touching, but like also like straight up punching you and stuff like that.
So I was lucky that I was on the cusp of where that was everything was kind of dying
Right.
down in haunts. So I was a teenager working in there. And, I went in, did my job, went home. I went in and had my chainsaw over my head and went home.
So there was a whoa, is that me? Who is that? Is that me?
Yeah, wait, there's something going on.
Yeah, something's up.
Uh-oh.
That might be me. Oh no.
Hang tight. It sounds weird.
All right.
No,
All right,
Maybe
no, we're not.
Is it there?
Oh, it's
is my sound weird? Mine's the only one that's not weird. I think that means
I
I
think
should
it's just
talk.
us. Hold on one second. You guys,
Okay.
you
Is
can
it
listen. Keep talking.
So
Hi.
so ultimately, what ends up happening? We're working at the haunt, and fucking.
You don't hear us.
I have
okay,
this.
never mind,
I
you're
can
muted.
hear both of you. I can hear
They're
both
talk-
of you. All right. So we're working at the
They're
haunt.
not be-
We're working at the haunt,
They're
and
Okay.
yeah, and so are you guys. I can still hear you guys. So what ends up happening?
Oh,
One of the ladies who works there, her son works there, and the kid's like 17 years old. And the other day, there was a lady coming into the haunt, and she reached over and she grabbed this woman's son's ass in front of her, literally in front of her.
Wow.
And she went bat shit on this woman. She went bat shit. You know that's a minor, right? Like, I mean, pop. And rightfully
Ooh.
so, because you can't do that. You shouldn't do that. I have another
Right.
friend who also got touched. Had her tits jiggled by another lady that works or that doesn't work there. The lady.
It's amazing to me how human beings treat things nowadays, like public places and public experiences. I can't even go to the movie theater without dealing with people like that.
She said this patron comes up to her and was like, woo, as she's going through, and then she jumps out to do her scare, and she just reaches out and goes jiggly, jiggly, jiggly. And I was like, I would have popped a bitch. I would have popped a bitch.
I would
I
have
mean,
too.
it was crazy. So, like, if you're out there and you're going to haunted houses across the U.S., remember, don't touch people. They're there working. They're people
Right.
just working.
We didn't sign
Nobody
up for
wants
that.
that. Nobody wants that. They don't touch you. You don't touch them. Just go there, get scared, and go the fuck home.
Amen.
But no, I just had to ask because it boggles the mind. It really does boggle the mind that folks think that's okay. And then somebody, what is it in Fear and Loathing? They say, and somebody started feeding these animals alcohol, right? Like, and that's also what's happening in this place. Like, it's nuts. But whatever. Back to Frankenweenie as we start to get set back up. How are you doing, James?
doing good now that this shit's
You've got your life together?
kind of. Like I said, man, I'm getting tired of this fucking living room.
I don't blame you.
Keeps getting fucked up. And this side of the ring, you guys see this nice little camera set in my living room. If you're on this side, it is just like a forest of wires, connecting through from here on the couch to the TV. It's kind of insanity.
Yeah.
But we're back. We're here.
I've sat there in that. I understand entirely.
But yeah,
But no.
Frankenweenie.
back to this dog.
He's not even a wiener dog.
No.
No, he's like a bull
Right.
terrier.
Right.
I feel like
So-
Tim Burton picked that dog specifically because of the weird shaped face.
You've seen Amazing Stories Family Dog.
Amazing
Right.
Stories Family
Have
Dog.
y'all seen that
No?
episode? Yeah, so it's the best episode of Amazing Stories that was. Sorry, Steven Spielberg, but it's the best one that ever was, and it was the only animated
Wait,
episode.
What?
And it's called Family Dog. It's an episode that Tim Burton did the animation, the artwork for, and Brad Bird
Oh,
directed.
Brad
It
Bird.
went in, from that, it went into Family Dog,
Oh.
the show, which I didn't,
even know what
quite
I don't
like
know what
as
that is.
much.
I was saying, I never heard of this. It's cool.
I love Brad
So,
Bird, and I love
Tim Burton drew that dog, and it's the exact same design as the dog in the 2012.
Ah, so
movie.
did that? I'm assuming that came out after the original Frankenweenie too. No.
Oh no, Amazing Stories
Oh,
was
80s,
back
so
in the
way
80s.
before that. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess you just always liked this type of dog.
So if y'all ever want to add that to your roster of
Hell
stuff to
yeah.
watch, the Amazing Stories episode of Family Dog, directed by Brad Bird, animated by Tim Burton, is absolutely
Awesome.
wonderful.
Sounds
And it's all of like
Nice.
20 minutes.
No, that's even better. No, but yeah, I mean, I love Brad Bird, man. That guy's incredible.
I do
Incredibles,
too.
man. That's one of the best animated movies, ever.
James says,
No.
"Give me
Incredibles-
things that are 20 minutes."
Like, wait, are you talking about The Incredibles? Like the movie?
Yeah, the Pixar movie.
Because we were talking about how the mothers are thick in this movie too. They got
true.
hips.
Yeah, it all comes full
Hips on
circle
hips.
because they
Yeah,
got some
yeah.
thick ladies in this animated
The old
movie.
hips.
Yeah, that mom's got a donk.
Yeah, they got some hips.
Mama in Family Dog has
Yeah.
a donk too. And that's Annie Potts.
Annie Potts is amazing.
That's the
Nice.
mama.
And
Mhm.
Who is the
Love
gym-
Annie Potts.
Garrett said something really funny about the gym teacher. I don't remember what it was.
Yeah,
but
they're like
that-
their gym teacher, new teacher. She was thick too.
She was.
She was like brolic too. She got some like shoulders. She's got like, you know,
She busted
she looks
that
like me
hallway,
right now. With this fucking.
Yeah, she was good looking. She was good looking, straight up. Yeah,
Nicole likes the muscly ones.
yeah. Why not? all about it. Give me a brolic female gym teacher every day. You know what I mean?
Well, that was the thing too, man. She's like running away from this monster, and it's like the thing never did anything to her. Like, yeah, it was like going,
Yeah.
but it wasn't like it was just jumping on her. It wasn't
Yeah.
even biting her.
People in this town need to fucking check themselves. Let me tell you something. If pets are coming back to life and science is the problem, my fucking high school loved science and never fucking cared about the arts. What the hell is this batshit ass town?
Yeah, they didn't even go full pet cemetery either. I mean, like, the animals weren't even that crazy.
No,
So
They were just hanging. They
Yeah.
were just there. They looked mean.
James, you were like, the sea monkeys aren't even doing anything bad. They're just like existing. I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, like they're just like vibing out here.
Well, that's something I want to ask you guys too. Like, so I feel like throughout my years of watching movies and TV, like, there's always been a thing about sea monkeys. Like, kids have always gotten sea monkeys. I've never had sea monkeys, nor have I know anybody else who's actually have ever owned sea monkeys ever.
I do.
Do?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
have.
and yeah, I don't know if this is an entertaining story, but I'm gonna tell it anyway. My friend like spilled out the sea monkeys like on the table, and her babysitter was like, "I'm not gonna clean them up; they're ugly." And I was like, "It's what's on the inside." Fucking sea monkeys. But yeah, no, I remember like a fucking dresser top covered in sea monkeys for sure.
What the fuck are sea monkeys?
it's like a shrimp,
they're like-
right? It's like krell or something.
Yeah.
Mhm. But they're almost, you almost can't see them. They're so small and thin. And I only had them because I thought maybe if I mixed my blood with them, I'd have like a treehouse thing happening
cool.
where like I could grow my own society. It didn't work that way.
Hell yeah.
That
It didn't work that way. They didn't
that's
live that long.
hysterical. Like that in and of itself is amazing. Well,
I
I mean,
tried.
you want to, right? But that's also what they sold you. It's also like when they sell you the X-ray specs. You know what I mean? And all it is it just sort of blurs things. That's all it is.
See, like, things about like sea monkeys. It's always like packaging where they're like
Yeah,
in a castle or something.
But dude,
Right.
that was the actual like advertisements in the back of the comic book. So that's what they like.
Yep.
Every parody you see of that could have been the actual packaging.
Because it was just like people with tails and
Little
like they
top
had
hats and monocles.
like Neptune
And there's
outfits.
a little
Yeah.
one with like a baseball bat. and-
They're on.
They were like studious.
But like, so reality, they're just like really tiny that just
Yes.
float.
Yeah, just like little.
They're just like gray little pieces of hair that float in a little thing about this big that holds like a cup and a half of water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I
And mine
fun.
had a drop in my blood.
They're very low maintenance pet, which I guess
So
for a
crazy.
child might be a thing. Might be cool.
Well-
The whole idea is to like let your imagination sort of go. So it's like an alternative to television, where television is feeding you the story and the idea with sea monkeys. Basically, the notion was you put it in there, and then your kid sits there mesmerized and is building the stories of their own society. I mean, Liz was bought and sold on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
I know these things will worship
I am
me.
your god.
It didn't work.
They just need a little bit of blood and they'll worship me.
Nice.
I am your god now.
If that's not like a, I don't know, fucking Curse the Weirder spinoff, I don't know what is. That's a fucking movie waiting to happen.
But like,
Man.
yeah. So no, I dig what you're saying about about the monkeys and the animals and all of this stuff. But then again, too, I mean, put yourself in the townspeople's shoes. If dead shit's coming back up, it doesn't matter what it's doing.
I would-
It's dead shit,
Consider yourself
man.
Be grateful. I'd be
Right.
so fucking grateful.
Yeah, if I had my
No.
dog back to life, I'd be like, this is.
Fuck
Does it
that, dude. What's dead is dead. Let dead stay dead. Like we.
And like I
What
said,
else they got going on? There's
I-
like in suburbia.
And
Like,
I've seen Pet Cemetery. I mean, I know what happens when the dead comes back, but they're like, I don't know. In this Frankenweenie universe, these pets are still pretty nice.
I mean, now, when they first come back, everything is super nice. What's gonna happen though? Do you know what I mean? Like it's gonna spiral,
So, Sparky just falls in love instead.
bro. It's a reasonable reaction.
I love his
I
girlfriend.
would rather hang out with that resurrected
Gosh.
dog than any of those townspeople. I'll tell you right now. That's what I'm about.
And yeah, this fucking his little poodle, Bride of Frankenstein girlfriend.
She's my favorite part of everything.
So cute.
Is this girlfriend and the spark at the end of both of them,
Oh,
both the short and the film, and then it goes into the end
And-
with electricity.
But that's what
So
I
cool.
like the live action better because it's funnier when I see a poodle in a real life, with like streaks in
with
their
the
hair.
Bride of Frankenstein hair.
When instead of seeing it, like as this claymation thing. But yeah, I love that Sparky just has this little Bride of Frankenstein girlfriend. He sneaks a ball through the fence with.
Yeah,
So good.
very cute.
And yeah, then she
Very,
gets
very
shocked right through his little bolts in his neck.
But you get the notion, and that's the thing with Frankenstein in general. I think what it's trying to teach, the overall sort of story is that what's different isn't always bad. There can be errors and mistakes made in what is different, and
Which always feels like a Tim Burton, I guess, motif, right? Or like his
Mhm.
thing of weird isn't bad.
Oh, yeah,
It's
good point.
typically his
yeah,
theme.
it's
Yeah. Right, that's Edward Scissorhands too, isn't it? It's just
you're scared of what you don't know. You're scared
Yeah.
of what you don't
Yeah.
know, and it's not. And when Frankenstein kills that girl at the lake, it's one of those things where that's the problem. He's this unknowing thing. Everybody he's seen has been scared of him. He sees one beautiful thing throwing beautiful things into the water, and he's like, "This is where pretty things go." And you know what I mean? It's actually, in theory, it's one of the kindest gestures in the film. He's saying, "You belong with these other pretty things." You know what I mean? Really and truly.
Yeah, they threw me in water because they thought it was pretty. I'd be
Yeah.
like, okay, it's
It's-
fucking nice. Sure,
Well,
I'm
but
flattered.
she drowns and dies. So I mean,
Oh, maybe that's not so cool. Yeah, that
Your
part's not so
Frankenstein
entertaining, but
Tinder
everything else-
date. That
Yeah.
would be so cool.
Yeah.
Somebody just shows up to a
Swipe,
date
right?
and Frankenstein just picks you up, throws you in the lake.
oh,
You might be murdered anyway, meeting someone on Tinder, so I might as well just, you while I'm doing
have you
it.
seen the latest season of I Think You Should Leave?
Oh my gosh, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So-
just slept with
Let's do that.
Frankenstein's
Frankenstein's
chick.
chick.
Fucking so good.
Frankenstein's chick. And then when Frankenstein takes over the dude's whole YouTube channel.
Okay.
So good.
Oh my god.
So good.
I love the zip line. Sorry, not to get off track too much from Frankenweenie, but the zip line guy from I think
Oh,
you
yeah.
should leave.
I
the
think you're
zoo.
only here to use the zip line.
The Darmine Doggy Door was my favorite skit of this season. I watch it constantly.
Oh my God! Yes.
It's quality, but that Frankenstein's chick thing. I mean, obviously,
Good
like
stuff.
if you sleep with the never mind. Wait, that's a different podcast. If you sleep with Frankenweenie's chick, that's I think that's a federal crime.
Yeah,
That's
it's
a.
definitely
I think you go to jail and end up on list.
Yeah, it's pretty fair.
But yeah, but I've also loved too how they play around with this, like this built, built together dog of different parts of like he'll drink water, and the water kind of shoots out through his like, little like stitches, and then he's also keeps trying to catch the water as it's like bouncing out of his body.
I love when they do that.
They play well, but they also play into wait, remind me, is it the dog that's trying to catch the water as it's coming out, right? Like the dog with the hose thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, it's coming out of him.
Yeah, it's coming out of him.
It's just like the dog with the hose, right? Like you start spraying the hose at the dog, they start chomping at it and everything. It's also a play on the dog chasing its own tail. Like
All
it
right.
it's smart stuff. It's really, really smart stuff.
Yeah, especially how they're able to keep the like to make it constantly still feel like a dog. In a way, like he's not like a supernatural. I mean, he is a supernatural dog, but it's not like I don't know. He's not like super powered or anything, or like does anything that different other than just be a dog and want to do like dog things.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah.
I love the. I was watching with my roommate. He made a good point. Like, as opposed to like, when Frankenstein's like, "Oh, it's alive." Victor in this goes, "You're alive." I was like, "Oh, that's like a good."
I didn't even notice
homage.
that.
Yeah, I didn't notice it. He was like, "Oh, that was a good homage." I was like, "Oh, yeah."
There's a lot of little things in this movie. I mean, I noticed there's like the phone booth, which felt a lot like the birds when all the sea monkeys are jumping in the phone booth. I mean, the giant tortoise is totally, clearly a Godzilla reference.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
I love the Gamera Shelley, and then I love the Rodan and the little film that Vincent makes in the beginning. It's so cool.
Yeah, and then fucking little Sparky's the guy who saves the
the Sparky kaiju.
Yeah, man. I mean, I remember being a kid trying to like show my parents movies, but they weren't as kind as his parents.
Oh, oh my God.
They never called me Hitchcock,
Oh,
but
sorry.
the way everything was put together again in that opening sort of film that he put together is exceptional. Like, I mean, and the attention to detail there, with what is it, the pterodactyl on a stick with tape and everything held to it.
Yeah,
he made it.
The little arm.
He made a 3D movie. It was in 3D as well, so he's shooting with two cameras, both clearly on film. The other thing that I noticed, and I'm sure you'll probably caught this, but it was wasn't it one of the Hammer Dracula movies they're watching with Christopher what's his nuts?
Christopher Lee.
Christopher
Yeah.
Lee. Yeah.
So that was a way of working him into the film.
Yeah.
Which I love that too. I do love Christopher Lee and Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Yes.
A lot.
Yes.
Or with Willy Wonka and the chocolate, whatever the hell he called. What does he call it?
It's
Is
Charlie.
Willy
It's
Wonka
Charlie.
or is it Charlie?
Yeah,
it's Charlie.
Charlie. Yeah, I got it confused too earlier. It's funny. I did the
No,
same
Johnny
thing.
Depp is frightening in that movie, and not like a cool, fun kind of frightening way.
Right. Like Gene Wilder was cool and frightening.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Johnny Depp was like, just makes me not want to watch it.
I hated that movie, but I don't remember Christopher. I like Christopher Lee a lot, so I probably would rewatch
He
it.
was
and like
his
it.
daddy, the dentist.
Okay, that checks out. Okay, I can do that now that I think back to the
Christopher
movie.
Lee was who's dad? The
dentist in
I meant in Charlie and Chocolate Factory. Who's Christopher Lee
Charlie's
again?
dad. Or not Charlie's dad. He's Willy
Charlie's
Wonka's dad.
Willy Wonka's
That's
dad.
why his
I
teeth
guess
are
not fucking
so perfect.
that much. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, it's been a while since I watched that movie, and it just kind of goes like way over my head.
It's a lot.
I was just
I'm
at it.
I'm as much as I love Johnny Depp, I'm a Gene Wilder, Willy Wonka guy.
Yes, that is like a perfect.
Yeah,
movie.
Because there's like a weird quality to
so good.
Gene Wilder in that movie. Like, it's just like, I don't know, there's something about him where you kind of trust him a bit, but then he's also like totally fucked up.
Yeah, and like that sequence when you're just like walking into that like fucking what's the name of that world, like that Oompa Loompa world or whatever, and he's like singing. That's just like ugh, like it chills. It's like
Yeah.
crack to me.
And when I see Johnny Depp, it just scares me. Like I feel
Yeah,
like
he wasn't right. He
And
wasn't
now
right
I'm
as Willy.
unsettled all the time.
yeah.
Was Johnny Depp in Frank? No, he wasn't.
Surprisingly,
in
no, he's
Frankenweenie,
not in
actually, no,
Frankenweenie. Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Huh.
I mean, him and Tim Burton haven't worked together. I don't think since. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think since Dark Shadows.
Wow. Huh. That sounds right.
Nothing that I can think of.
Dark Shadows. That's not the one with Michelle Pfeiffer, right? I'm thinking of
that I
something
don't know.
else.
I
I'm
never
thinking of
watched Dark
something else.
Shadows.
Oh, okay.
I just
All right.
know
Yeah, I have not seen
that
it
Johnny
either.
Depp is in it, and it looked really bad, so I never watched it.
But Dark-
and it's based on the show.
The show is tremendous. The British series is amazing, and
Okay.
that's why I don't think I ever watched the movie, is because like Dark Shadows was one of those like Willy Wonka, Jesus, Monty Python era sort of Britcoms that kind of came out. So it's like you had Red Dwarf, Dark Shadows, Python, all of that stuff. It's like early-ish or 70s-ish BBC, and it's just quality. It's so good. And the fact that you pull in a bunch of Americans, like Tim Burton, I'm sure nailed the style, but it's not.
Cool.
Yeah, it's less than.
Now I want to watch both just to compare.
Well, then you can. I'm sure it's out there.
Just like in my
Somewhere.
Tim Burton spin-off podcast.
I mean, I said I love Tim Burton movies, but yeah, I just like literally after Dark Shadows, I kind of stopped watching it. Though, I guess now I'm getting off topic a bit, but I mean, a lot of people hated, his the Planet of the Apes movie, but I actually really liked that movie up until like about the end of it. Like it's like weirdly like I think a fun movie.
I enjoy Helena Bonham Carter in that movie more than I do anything he's ever put her in.
Oh,
I don't
interesting.
know why.
You used her a lot.
I
They're married.
enjoy Helena
married.
Bonham
They were
Carter
together for a hot minute.
in everything.
She's great.
She's like the best part of Fight Club. I will stand by that.
Oh, for sure. Did Tim Burton also direct Sweeney
Yeah.
Todd?
The
Yeah, okay, because she's in that too.
I didn't know that. I should have pieced that together. That makes sense that he would direct that.
Yeah, we
Cool.
got Johnny Depp.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And, yeah, and Helena Bonham Carter.
Yeah, and I'm surprised she's not in this either.
Oh yeah.
They might have been divorced.
You
by
know
this
what's
time.
weird though? Like that's a dynamic I find very, very weird and sort of interesting. That you pit your partner with, a very specific leading man, and then it makes me wonder about sort of like their kind of sex life. Do you think like Tim Burton was like low key cucking himself?
Ooh.
Probably.
You know what? Why not? You got the opportunity to.
That's how I feel when I'm watching the season of Peacemaker, because so James Gunn's wife plays like the other female lead in it, and the whole episode is like the whole season John Cena is trying to like bang his wife pretty much, and then she's like no, and then like as the season's progressing, they're getting more closer and stuff. I'm like, is James Gunn's writing and directing this? Like, is he like just trying to? Like, what is he trying to say?
Yeah, it's one of those weird sort of like Hollywood, one of those weird Hollywood like sex party things. I think.
I feel like you need to write a dissertation on that. Ben.
I mean, I may. I literally.
There's more than
That's really like
Holy
putting
crap.
two and two together. Like, whoa.
Because.
And if
Well, no, I'm sorry, but like at the end of the day, like it's a thing that you see. And the Tim Burton, Helena Bonham Carter, Johnny Depp thing is a thing that really sort of pops out at you. But if you look over the course of time, it's happened not infrequently. Like it's a thing, and it is bizarre.
if you're not cucking yourself, it makes me wonder. Like, are you nervous at all by like putting your wife
Or
in
maybe
scenes with like
it's
gorgeous Johnny Depp where they're like kissing?
But maybe
shit?
it's the exact opposite of that. No, you're not nervous, but maybe the sense of power of being like,
Like, I could do
I'm
this
the
and I
big
will.
man on campus. I can have fucking Johnny Depp around my girl, and she ain't gonna cheat on me because
Mm.
I'm the fucking man.
I'm coordinating
Or-
this shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm calling this
Or
shot.
do you think he makes Johnny Depp watch them fuck? That's the other question.
Oh,
That's
fine.
what I want. Yeah, that's That's what I believe.
That's a
I'm going with that.
reverse the fetish, and it makes it even
Yeah.
weirder.
Johnny Depp
See,
look. I put in
That's
this
gonna
movie.
be my book. That's gonna be my book. From Cuck to Captain is
Beautiful.
what we'll call
That's a really good title.
I'd buy it.
it.
I'd buy that for $1 for sure.
Yeah, but see, this movie definitely doesn't have all the normal Tim Burton-ness. What I was reading too online was that Disney, he had a deal with Disney to make 2 movies, and it was this and Alice in Wonderland pretty much around the same time. So I'm guessing a lot of his guys just went to Alice in Wonderland, and then he was like, all right, I'm just going to do Frankenweenie here on the side.
Yeah.
I think it was a bunch of people from on the Coraline
Yes.
crew
That's what I read too, that they had a lot of...
went over, or Corpse
Oh,
Bride
right.
Yeah.
crew. Excuse me, went over. My kids and I were talking about this earlier because I had them rewatch it with me, and they were like, he sold himself out. I wouldn't have taken any more money from Disney. Once they fired me, they lost me. And I'm like, you know what? You had a good point.
Yeah, that is a good point.
point. Integrity.
I mean,
There you
if
go.
you hear, I mean, I don't have my phone on me now, but I know he's definitely had, since Dumbo, has pretty much a lot to say about Disney, which is pretty funny to hear him just kind of destroy Disney. But I mean, yeah, I'm sure there was a fat paycheck given to Tim Burton to be like, hey, make this Alice in Wonderland movie, and then here's this. I'm sure he got he's like, oh, you want me back? Then you're gonna fucking pay me.
You're gonna pay me and pay me well.
Yeah.
Another, you know who always had bad shit to say about Disney after the relationship went south, right? Was Robin Williams.
Oh, interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Robin Williams talked mad shit because one of the things that he specified going into making Aladdin was he didn't want his voice to be used to sell shit to kids. He was like, I'll do the part, but like, here's the catch. Like, I don't want to be your pitch man. And then sure as shit, like they're using clips from the movie left and right. The Happy Meals, the whatever, the Whopper
like
Kid
toys
Meals.
that have a little button on it. They'll say something.
Any
you know?
idea why not? Why not use his
And-
voice? Why did he want that? Do you know?
Because he didn't want to be a pitch man for stuff. He didn't want to sell product. He was an artist. He was what he wanted to do, and he didn't want to be their pitch man. And when Disney went bad and they went back on their word and they started doing that, and they were getting ready to do the sequel, like Return of Jafar, they reached out to him. The paycheck was more. And he was like, absolutely not. No, burn me once, never again. And like, I've always had mad respect for that. Like, fuck him. Who needs him? And he went on to have a tremendous career, you know?
Now, is Night at the Museum, is that not a Disney movie?
No, Night at the Museum, I don't think is a Disney movie. I don't think so.
Interesting. For some reason, I always thought that was a Disney movie.
It's got the vibe.
Yeah,
Let's
exactly.
Night at the Museum
Is it DreamWorks?
is.
It might be.
Let's see.
Well, DreamWorks would be animated. I don't know. But yeah, Ben's Googling
Yeah.
it.
We're taking a quick look.
Like our amazing Dwayne Steeler always says, fuck Disney.
Yeah, fuck Disney. Nobody needs them.
Yep.
Let's see. Nope, it is 20th Century Studios. 20th Century Studios.
Oh, which is now Disney.
Oh, so now it's owned by
Yeah.
Disney.
Now
At the
it's
time, it was not.
so
At
it's
the
Fox.
time, it was
And
not.
yeah.
Does that mean that Ben Stiller's a Disney princess?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay,
So is
I'm okay with that.
Leia and the alien princess, from Alien. From the
Yep.
Alien.
Okay.
Sigourney Weaver.
Yeah.
No.
Well, the alien.
No.
Isn't that
The alien. Yeah,
Yeah.
I know what you're saying. I prefer it to be Sigourney Weaver. I'm sorry.
Yeah, for sure.
Especially like 70s alien
Yeah.
Sigourney Weaver.
Watched
110%.
Aliens the other day because also a little off topic, which you can't see for people watching on the other side of this camera. We have now like a CRTV with a VHS attached to it that John got from his uncle. So now we have a way to actually watch, because we watch it on our regular TV. It either it just loves to crop it out. Like it loves to blow it up to our TV, so we never really get to see it like any VHS kind of like in the right format. So to be able to watch it on this TV, and then we have Aliens on VHS, and we watched it on that TV, which was awesome.
Dude, that's awesome. And I know you guys and your stack of VHS there. So to be able to have something to watch the medium in the way it is fully to be intended is magical.
We just, so for all you guys who don't know, we have a dope sound system. And we just figure out how to get that TV to work in our sound system. So we have this tiny little, tube TV that now feeds into our surround system.
That's hysterical. That's one of the greatest things I think I've ever heard right now.
Yeah, so fucking rules, man.
Yeah.
She just kicks ass.
Yes.
Get away from her, you bitch.
But Frankenweenies.
Frankenweenies. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what else more to talk about.
Frank and weenies. That's good.
I do actually remember what I wanted to bring up too. But the class in this town, like normally, you see these like kind of small town stuff, and everybody like there's the cliques and different types of people, right? And I just felt like this entire class was just all weirdos. Like everybody was the goth kid.
Yeah.
Like nobody was the jock or like the hot one or like the nerd. It was just.
Why couldn't I have had that school?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's weird because like you look at today, and I mean I ain't got no kids. I don't know what high school's like. If I did, it'd be creepy. So like, but I feel like you're seeing an increasingly large group of kids who are functioning sort of outside the norm, where I guess fringe has become slightly cooler.
Yeah, I mean, I can say in my high school, this movie came about a year after I was in high school, so I guess I would still kind of, like, if I remember back, 2011, the cliques weren't as so much like the thing. Like, everybody was like I remember like people who like, I guess there were still like the popular kids, I guess, or the kids who had more money, really, but they would still like also listen to the same bands, or like, people still got like, randomly I would see people with like piercings. I was like, I never expected you to be that person to get whatever piercing and stuff like that. So it was like, yeah, I guess it is just different these days,
And like when I was a kid in school, I vividly remember like it was Heather's sort of territory, and the fact that you really did have like popular kids, you had rich kids, you had band kids, you had sports kids, and like very rarely did you have like a crossover kid. You know what I mean? Like a kid that could sort of work their way and navigate through all of the groups. And then you had your weirdos, your stoners, your burnouts. But it felt much more like Heather's when I was growing up. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
I felt like you were setting up a John Hughes movie or something.
Yeah.
I was like, what's he going to set up here?
It's Frank and Heather's is where we're going.
Frank and Heather.
Frank is what we're doing.
The rich popular girls come back to life.
Arguably, that could be Frank and Hooker. At the end of the day, might actually be Frank and Heather's if reworked slightly. But no, Liz, just kind of going back through and realizing that I did lead a very stereotypical 80s, 90s existence when it came to school.
I mean, Nicole, were you any cliques?
I was keeping my mouth fucking shut because I might have been a popular girl.
You were a Heather.
Who's really to say? I was a nice popular girl though, but
there's no such a thing.
That's the only
there's no such a thing. I'm sorry.
You see Amanda Seyfried's character's pretty nice. She's just a little naive, let's say.
No.
There's like the people don't know that Nicole bullied in high school.
Yeah, they just like that fucking movie, like drawing my name out with like lipstick or whatever. Yeah.
If there's anybody you want to apologize now to, Nicole, here's the the format.
I'm sorry for absolutely fucking nothing, everyone. My gosh. Yeah, no, my high school was pretty cliquey. Yeah, that was definitely true. But I listened to like Sum 41 and Blink 182 and Good Charlotte and stuff like James did.
Yes, even the clicky kids that liked all the weird bands.
Yes.
Even like metal bands. I was like, who the fuck are you? I was like, you
weird bands. There's nothing weird about it. Blink 182 or Sum 41. You want weird? You listen to Shat. If you've never heard Shat, go back and listen to Shat. That's weird. You want to know what was weird for a kid in my school? Let me tell you something. That's going to be a 14-year-old band dork who is listening to Frank Zappa and being like, I don't see why people don't understand music on my level. I don't get it. Like, I don't understand.
I was judged a little too hard for listening to Good Charlotte in high school to not to not actually say that it was considered weird back in the day. Unfortunately,
I can't even imagine. Like, listen to Shat. Go back through. Like this was my problem in school. Was like literally, it's a situation where, again, it's music before your time. It's far more orchestral and sort of played out. It's nothing that anybody was listening to at the time. But I would be like, it's why is not everybody like on Frank Zappa's dick? I don't understand it, because not only were the lyrics bananas, the music was bananas. It's very fun, funny stuff, socially aware and just kind of wild, like absolutely wild. And then people would look at me like I was from another planet. They're like, who cares about this guy? Like, what are you talking about? And people still look at me that way when because I'll hop on that soapbox. America's greatest composer, America's greatest guitar player, and nobody talks about him anymore. And it is a fucking national tragedy.
I knew you were talking about yourself as soon as you said the 14-year-old that only listens to Frank Zappa and has an elevated sense of music. I was like, oh my God, Ben, you were not that kid, were you? I was very much that kid.
I had a band director that turned me on to Frank, and I'll never forget him, Mr. Kenny. Probably should have been fired for for doing that. Because again, the first song I ever heard by Frank was called Bobby Brown Goes Down, and it's 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes. It was a big hit in like Norway and Finland. It was like a dance craze there. They loved it. But it's basically about the All-American football player who does horrible things his entire life. And like one of the opening lines is got a cheerleader here who wants to help with my paper. I'll let her do all the work, and then maybe later I'll rape her. That's what that is. Ooh. But now here's the thing, and this is where I go with comedy in general. It's why I love Frank. It's why I love Stern. He always put himself in the situation. He used to get in a lot of trouble for his lyrics being misogynistic, and he's like, this is the criticism that I get from people who don't actually listen to my music. And this applies because his name is Frank Zappa, so it's part of our Franken episode. So, but the criticism that he always got was being a misogynist. At the end of the day, though, if you really listen to the lyrics and you actually pay attention to the story being told, it's not about violence against women. It's not pitting women in a bad light. It's really songs about idiot asshole dudes doing idiot asshole dude things, right? So it's all the notion of character. It's the same thing that Stern would do if you really listen to it. Like Dynamo Hum is about a lady who's comfortable with her sexuality, and then an idiot man who is just being an asshole trying to make her come, and he can't because he's inept. It's I could live on that soapbox. I'm sorry. So there was a dog that came back to life, right? There was a kid that made a dog come back to life.
I would also like to add that we have Leo in the chat here, who said, Erin appreciated the Heather's reference, and now she wants to watch it, LOL. By the way, hi, everyone.
Leo. Miss you, Leo.
Very nice. Good. How's Brazil?
It's a good
Yeah, how was Brazil, Leo?
Oh, isn't that what Lloyd says?
Well, he did actually go to Brazil.
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
wow.
he's been in Brazil for like a month.
Yeah,
He's not
Oh,
back yet. He may be back. I don't know.
yeah. I haven't heard from Leo in a while. I haven't heard from you in a while, Leo.
Wait, we were just texting. We've been texting him all week about Star Wars.
Yeah, we only talked about Star Wars. I don't know
okay.
what the hell Leo's been doing with his life.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess that's I have to figure out
Because
what
you
he's up
pay
to.
no attention. He's been in Brazil. Like I could tell you exactly what Leo does.
We've been chatting just about not Brazil. We've been chatting about Star Wars.
But yeah, Frankenweenie. I don't know. There's really not much more I can feel like I got to say about this movie. I mean, no, it's fun. Is there? I don't know. Anybody else got anything they want to say before I start going around here, around this circle?
I don't know.
Anything?
We covered.
No, let's wait my turn.
We covered dogs. We covered things coming back to life. I got an Amazon package. Life is good. It's fine. Guess what I got? Y'all don't even know. I told the chat. Guess what I got?
What'd you
I'm
get?
very proud. It's also a very dorky moment for me. Magic the Gathering has put out a Doctor Who set. I got the fourth Doctor. He's the commander in in one of the sets that they put out, and I was very happy.
I mean, I'm sure you can't use those cards in competitions, right? Or can you?
So that's the thing. I think a lot of them are like legal in competition. I think in EDH, which is basically Commander, pretty much every Commander deck is legal in that. But I would have to do deep research. But I primarily only play with Jen. She only and.
Jen's just like, all right.
Aw.
No, it really
Sweet.
is a thing where it's like I have to be good for a while.
That's
You
your
should-
special treat.
You should play with
It
Post
is.
Malone.
Did you hear what Posty did? What he went out and did, which is crazy.
Didn't he? Well, I think I know, but why don't I let you
No,
say it instead?
He
I don't
bought
wanna
the Lord of the Ring, the one true ring, the one ring to rule them all. It's like a gold foil card, embossed, and it's in the Mordor language or whatever. And there was only one made. Some dude got it, and Post Malone wanted it, and he paid the guy $2.5 million for the card.
Good God.
God
Yeah.
damn.
Yeah. Yeah. I have heard that.
Yeah, when I worked on that commercial, I tried to grab a few packs, and they were like, if you grab any of these packs, like we're all like going to jail. Like that shit is like lock and key for those
Yup.
cards, man.
And it makes sense, bro.
Prepaid.
Makes sense.
Yeah. All right, well, let's go around this circle here. Liz, what are your final thoughts? What are you rating the show? What are you gonna give it?
Give it 3 out of 5.
Well, you got to give it the 3.
Oh, I've
you
got
know,
to give
you
it
got
your
there.
Success. I really enjoy coming.
So you got 3 options here.
So success.
Success.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like,
Thoughts?
Yeah.
what y'all think the same? Like it's not his best work. Point blank. It's not his best work, but it's not his worst work. And it's good for kids. Like I would like I said, much rather my kids, for instance, when they were watching it, when they were little, like I would rather a child watch that than some other Disney bullshit.
It's fair.
So
That's a good point too.
I appreciate it for what it is.
Yarn Yeti, what are you giving it?
No, I mean it's entirely a success, and
Success.
the big reason there is largely because it is an enjoyable watch. It's not a thing that you're gonna watch every Halloween. It's
so
not a
sorry.
thing that you're gonna
I know.
watch constantly or continually. But is it a good quick watch? Story is solid. There's a lot of fun little Easter eggs in there. One thing we didn't touch on, or at least that I'm not aware, I did go and get a package. But the you pervert, James. No, the hidden stuff, the Easter eggs. The older you get, the better they are. Like when he's digging up the dog in the pet cemetery. Did you see the gravestone behind him while he's flinging the dirt on it? You didn't.
No.
You didn't pay attention to it. It says "Goodbye, Kitty," and it's got the Hello Kitty cat on it, and it's a goodbye kitty because it's dead.
That's funny.
Oh, that's
So-
funny.
I didn't know that.
So there's a lot of like hidden fun stuff inside this, and yeah, it's worth a watch every couple of 3 years, but you don't need to go back and continually watch it. But success.
Success.
Nicole, what are you giving it? What are your final thoughts?
Yeah, I also give it a success.
Success.
I do really like how tight the story is on this short. And do feel like the feature length gets a little saturated. That said, I think it's really creative how they added in the science fair element and how everyone kind of like fucking hated the science teacher. Like that is actually really clever for like a Frankenstein story. A character we have not talked about that James, you and I were talking about a bit before the show was Igor. Actually loved Igor.
Oh
and
yeah, that little fucker.
Yes. Yeah,
He ruins everything.
yes, we were both like, oh, that motherfucker. But like,
He literally ruins all
All
of
of
it.
it.
but like like such a good addition to a feature length version of Frankenweenie, I have to say. Definitely kept the story moving along, even as fucking annoying as he was the whole time. Kept it moving well. Yeah, so definitely a success.
Success.
Yeah, I'm gonna give the same thing. I'm gonna say,
Success.
yeah. I mean, just to echo all you guys, yeah, it's fine.
It's fine.
No, it's fine. Like I love Tim Burton stuff. If I'm gonna watch a Tim Burton movie, it's definitely not gonna be this one again for a while. And honestly, if I have like a hankering to watch Frankenweenie, like I'm just gonna watch the short film because I just think it's way better. And I think it's way more creative too, coming off as live action.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I guess and like you said, it's better. Disney kids movie to watch than 90% of the other Disney movies that were out there. I actually almost picked another Disney thing, but it wasn't streaming anywhere. But there was this like show called House of Mouse back in the day.
Yep.
And Virgil brought up to me that there was an episode called The House of Mouse with villains, and then the villains take over the entire House of Mouse, and it's like this whole villain episode, special.
Awesome.
But not streaming anywhere. Disney, what the fuck? So, get on that. But yeah, this movie, I'll give it a success.
Success.
But it's fine. Go watch any other Tim Burton movie.
Ed
Go watch
Wood.
Ed Wood.
Yeah, not any other. Specifically Ed Wood. Specifically Ed Wood. Very tragic story, though, at the end of it. They don't really dip into that. There's a lot of amazing Ed Wood docs that once you watch Tim Burton's biopic, you should definitely go and watch a few Ed Wood docs because tragic story.
Yeah, it really is a tragic,
Ended
sad
up-
story. Especially because it kind of echoes, what's the actor he worked with that they show in the movie?
Bela
The guy
Lugosi.
who played Dracula. Yeah, like I feel like the end of his life kind of echoed the way Bela Lugosi's life kind of.
Similarly, with the exception that Ed Wood, he would pound out scripts in a blackout. He would get
He was a drinker rather than the drugs that Bela
rather
Lugosi
than
was
like
on.
morphine or heroin, but he would pound out like an 80-page script in a weekend in a blackout. And by the time we get to stuff like Orgy of the Dead, he started just making like porn. Like you look at Pretty Models All in a Row. What is it, like Snow Bunnies or Snow?
I mean, he had no money at that point too.
No, broke,
Mm-mm.
drunk, and I think
But I almost appreciate those films more so than anything else, like Orgy of the Dead in particular, because it's just it's burlesque dancing, and that's all it
Orgy of
is.
the Dead is hands down like. So you look at like a Plan 9, you look at like a Glenn or Glinda, all the ones with like Tor Johnson, all of that, A Bride of the Monster. You look at that early work, but then, man, when you get to Criswell and Orgy of the Dead, and it's just these people tied to poles while you have like a cat lady doing a sexy dance and then a gold lady. Yeah,
See what I mean?
Good. It's so good.
But there's no rhyme or reason to it. There's just the for less ghouls. So I can appreciate that. I don't need a story.
Yeah, honestly, for less ghouls, I'm sold. I don't really need to know anything else. Yeah,
Exactly.
they got me. Yeah, they got me in the door with that one.
We have an Ed Wood homage to Orgy of the Dead in Curse of the Werewolf. I don't know if you caught it or not, but it is during the car chases. Very specifically, this was very intentional in the edit. John Bergio is a master. We went from day to night, back to dusk, then back to day, and then back to night again as the cars are chasing each other. 2 static shots of cars while people are delivering lines. And I'm just going to lie to everybody and tell them that was intentional and not... it's a direct homage for eagle-eyed viewers and not because we were bad at filmmaking.
It's an homage, you know. If it's bad, you stole it from somebody else.
We did it right. We did it right.
Beautiful.
All right. So yeah, I mean, I guess that's the end of this show, right?
That is. It should be. It should be. But James, the big question is, considering this is Halloween, what are we watching for the first Totally Toonular of November?
So I wanted to break away from the spookiness. We've done a lot of spooky cartoons, I feel, in October, rightfully so. But so I wanted to break away from a bit, and since we got some time, since we're recording this early, I figured I would get a bigger show, out of the way. And it's a show we haven't talked about, but we have talked about the creator a bunch, so I feel like it was finally time to jump in and talk about it. But we are going to talk about King of the
finally.
Hill.
Oh,
Sorry.
I didn't know you were such a big King of the Hill fan.
I was not expecting you to say that I love King of the Hill. Oh my god, it's so fucking good. Sorry.
Yeah, I didn't know you were that much into King of the Hill.
Yeah, that my heart's like pounding out. Oh my god, I love it.
I feel like after all this creepiness, spookiness of Halloween, let's get to some dry humor. And also, I recently worked with someone named Bobby, so I was just King of the Hill was just in my head.
Only one episode that we need to watch, and it's the one where Bobby learns self-defense, and he kicks his dad in the nuts, and he goes, "That's not my purse! Don't touch me! That's not my purse!" And I don't know you! That's not my purse! Or that's my purse! I don't know you! And he kicks Hank in the nuts.
Yes. So good. And he keeps kicking people in the balls that episode, right?
And then he
like
kicks his mom in the balls, and she's like, "I do not have testicles," or whatever.
She's like the funniest character.
So, yeah,
her name is.
That's what we're doing next week, November, whatever that date is, when that Tuesday or Wednesday falls into place. All right, so let's fucking get out of here. Happy Halloween, everybody.
Happy Halloween.
Yeah. Thanks for everyone who came in the chat.
Yeah, all of you people coming in the chat. Thank you.
Yeah.
I like it. Thank you for coming.
Keep coming. Come on. All right.
You guys, this is all Kyle's mom's fault. Shut up, Cartman. Kyle's mom is the one that started that damn club, and all because she's a big, fat, stupid bitch. Don't say it, Cartman. Well, don't do it, Cartman. Well, I'm warning you. Okay.
Hello, peasants. Want to kill all humans?
Work there, dude.
We'd like some money. Yeah, money. Money is cool. We got whores in the city. We need backup now. Don't be so dang literal.
Well, you've got one heck of a nerve. Oh my God! The government is here. Run!
Hey, barkeep, who's
way do you have to hump to get a dry martini around here?
Ich bin ein Springfielder.
Shut the hell up. I've got the strangest feeling someone's gonna kick his ass.
You guys, this is all Kyle's mom's fault. Shut up, Cartman. Kyle's mom is the one that started that damn club, and all because she's a big